Welcome to another playthrough of another game. Today we have Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. I really like the originally the Imperial Settlers card game a lot. It's really nice. I still have to do. There's a campaign mode there which I want to do, but first is, and this is a game that did go straight into retail, and I almost missed it. I had it. That was announced, I think, at the beginning of the year, and I thought, well, I have to have this. Now I have it. I was only able to get the German version from retail, but this shouldn't be a problem that much. What is maybe to be said for this edition, or for what I did, is I did print out these sheets. Normally you get a block of sheets here, which is normal for a roll and write, to write onto, and what I did is to print the sheet out and laminate it, so I can reuse and not have to use the original block, because actually this is the second time I have to record this, because the first time there was didn't work completely, so I have to redo this. But yeah, that's a bit of the thing. What I also have are these tokens, which are the tokens that come with the Imperial Settlers game, just because later in the game, because this is an engine builder, you get more and more resources to be handled with, so it's helpful to have something to keep track of that. There is also the community is already live. There's also like a resource tracker where you can just track them on your sheet. So yeah, so that's that. So what I did, I copied the first. So there is a solo mode in this Roll and Write. Most Roll and Writes have solo modes mostly built into it. But this is nice because there's this whole block of different configurations of these 6 buildings. Normally in the multiplayer game, you just have one specific type. There's also now variant multiplayer rules, but I don't want to get into that. So there's 48 of these adventure sheets, and what I want to do is to go through all of them. It depends on if we want to go through all of them together. So what I intend to do is like doing some sort of let's play series where I play it and you can play along while I roll. You can see whatever is available to you with the roll and whatever, and then we can compare points. So that's the thing. So what I did, because as I said, this is the German version, so this is the German sheet, but I mean, mostly what's important is the iconography, which is the same as in the original game, and I copied that onto this sheet, so I can also reuse it, and that's that. So we have these 6 buildings to start with, which is the Primeval Forest, which gives a wood at the beginning of the turn. There's Sentry Tower, which gives 1 victory point for 2 different harvests. So when I harvest and then if 2 different resources harvested, I get a victory point from it. The Dark Chapel gives me an additional action, but I have to use 1 less die to roll, resource die that I roll. So there's a cost benefit to it. The Welcome Party gives me 1 resource, plus 1 resource from a specific die, from a resource die I choose. So I get, for example, if I roll a stone, I can get 1 more stone from that. Then the temple, so this is a victory point. These are the victory point buildings. So from the temple, if I build this, I get 7 victory points, and the arch enemy, when I fill these boxes, I get with food. So my enemy needs food, I get additional victory points. So I will play with the advanced rules or expert rules, which basically just mean you have settlement phase where you can draw these buildings and the buildings get better, or these actions get better, or whatever get better. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it makes a sense. Doesn't make sense to play without these rules, or without the expert rules, because they're not really that expertly, and it just increases what you have. Yes, it's expert in a way, as in you have more resources to control, but again, if you use token or some resource sheet to track what you have, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. So I have to finish here the setup, which is basically taking 3 of these favor tokens, which is, again, is the one that are in German, but well, we will see. Okay, so yeah, it's almost what I got last time around, but this time around it's a little bit worse, I have to say. So there's the lucky dollar or whatever. I just get one gold, which is basically the 1 gold is basically the wild card resource, which is it's not that bad. Last time I had the action, the ally, which is really good. Export, so I can get victory points by exchanging resources. What I already like that the German version is more clear on the rules than the English version, or because here it says explicitly you can get that, and that. You have to exchange one of each resources. You can't get 3 resources of the same type to get 3 VP. And there is this, which is basically the same as the welcome party. So I can choose 1 resource die, and I get 1 additional resources of that die, which is basically like that, except that this doesn't increase. This doesn't get better. Okay, so I think we should start. So at the first I choose 1 of the, actually I don't know if it's choosing first or rolling first. I should have maybe looked that up in the rules, but I always choose first because most of the time it doesn't make a difference. I think because these 2, well, actually this could be okay. But again, I mean, if you have these 2, I mean, this just gives you 1 additional resource, which this does too. So I think these 2 are just equal, except this is a little bit worse. So if you don't roll a certain resource, you can't get it, but with this you can get it. So I think it's always best to take that. I don't think this makes maybe sense in the later rounds, but I think this is just useless because I can always get this. This is better than that because I don't have to have a specific resource, and I can always get any resource I want. So then let's roll the dice. Good. And see what I get for resources. Okay, I get another gold, 2 wood, and I have 4 actions left, which is these little guys here, and I get the additional gold from the lucky dollar, or whatever it's called in English. So I don't have a specific rules video, so I would suggest that you look up Rodney Smith's from What You Played rules video, which is really great. But it's really easy. Basically, yeah, you have your actions, and you can with an action you can cross off one of these boxes, and you have to have certain resources. That's basically it. It's not that hard to understand. It's really easy to get into, but I think it as it goes on, because it's an engine build, it gets more and more complicated anyway. So the thing is, you want to get the welcome party very early on, because this just gives you an insane amount of resources, and the Dark Chapel is really good because it gives you an insane amount of actions. So at some point you want to get. I think these two are the best. This is also not that bad because it gives you wood, but which is good to go along this track. Which isn't that bad either. But building wise, this is easier to build than that in the settlement phase, so it's probably wise to go for that. So the problem is I don't have any food, which makes getting this hard. This is really easy to get. So if you have this shape, this is really easy to get. This is easy. These are easy to get because they only take you an action to get access to that field to harvest. But because I have 2 wood, I could just take that as an action. And unfortunately I can't. I mean, I can also use these as 2 stones and just build that. So I think this is not that bad because this would benefit me already from next turn. Yes, I can't build it in the settlement phase, but it already gives me 1 additional resource, which isn't that bad. And I probably also want to build that just to get an additional action. Because if I have 1 more action and 1 more from here, and because I have that gives me a resource additionally, I don't care about that much about losing 1 die actually, because I have that in my pool of favors. So actually getting this early on built or activated, because I can't use this power unless I have built it with these reactions. This costs me 2 wood, which I have exactly. So 3 action and 2 wood would give me the Dark Chapel, which gives me an additional action next turn. Or from then on out. And I have 1 less die, but if I take that this is just negated, because this is basically that additional die. And then I could start building on the welcome party here. And get that also. Yeah, so I use 3 actions and these 2 wood to basically build that. So next turn I only roll 2 die. But as I said, I get the additional action, which is probably more powerful, and I can mitigate the die roll with the lucky dollar, which just gives me anyway a coin. Or lucky coin. Maybe it's called lucky coin. So I could use that to just build that, because these are normally very difficult to build. So I use that actions to and the $2 or 2 coins to actually build there. It just gives me for 1 action, just gives me 2 points, which is the best one anyway. And this is really hard to build anyway, because this uses a lot of wood, and until I don't have that, this is really hard. So in the settlement phase, I could build one of these buildings to make these 3 actions better, but I don't, so this basically ends my first turn. So yeah, second turn, I think I choose again this, and I think just from the things here, it's basically just always probably that. So now I have this, so I think I can choose if I want to. So I have 1 die less, but again, as I said, basically with the lucky coin, I just mitigate that issue by just having more. So I get 1 action from the Dark Chapel, then I get 5 actions, which is actually the best result you can get. 5 actions, and I get that coin, and I get 2 wood from the die roll. Okay, so I have 6 actions to do. Wow, which is really, really a lot. So again, unfortunately, I don't have any food, which is really bad, and the first one here is really hard to get. Well, I could use 1 action to at least get that action off, but other than that, it's really an issue. But I could go for just a lot of actions, and then I can harvest whatever I need. Or I want to go for the Primeval Forests. Nah, I think I want to have the welcome party at some point, and rather sooner than later. But unfortunately, this is 2 stone. So if I use, okay, now let's plan. I can use an action to do the first thing in the welcome party, and I want to use this as one action to go further here. Then I have two actions. I can unlock the field. And I could get a stone, but this would take me an action and I could only build here. So I don't think I do this turn. So I can use this coin to build at least the first step, and then I can use these two actions to unlock it. And then maybe just the third one should just get a step further in there. Or maybe I could use this for the food, so I have at least some point. Yeah, I think I do that. So let's regroup and do this properly. So I use the 2 wood and the 1 action to fulfill that one. And then I use 1 action to do the first thing in the welcome party, and I do another action and the coin. I think it doesn't matter really. Yeah, I do this because it needs a stone, so I use the coin to get a stone and use 1 action. Then I have more actions left, so I use 2 actions to unlock this field. It doesn't make sense to get a stone now because I will lose it at the end of the turn, so I'd rather use 1 action here and start building that. Again, unfortunately, in the thing, I mean, I could have also put this, but and already build 1 building, but I don't think it makes a difference here. It really hurts that I don't get any food every turn. I think I will choose this next turn anyway. So this was round 2. In the settlement phase, again, I can't build anything. Now I reroll again the dice. Again, I choose the lucky coin just because it makes more sense. Let's always use the die here. And again, I roll 1 less die. Okay, so now I get the food one, which is good. I get 4 actions. And I get additional actions from the Dark Chapel. And I get a food and a wood as resources, plus I get this from the lucky coin. Okay, so I could finish the welcome party. So next turn I could get more resources, but the issue is, well, no, it's not really an issue because I can get the additional stone for that thingy here. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. So I use an action and a coin to build that. So I use this as a stone. And now I have unlocked this, which is really great. But I use another action to get a stone. And then another action to build that. And then I can use an action and a food to build this. And then I have this left, which is really shitty because I can't do much with it. I probably just have to maybe I want to just use an action here to start to get, because it's a free wood. I don't probably want to build that, but well. So now I'm in the settlement phase, and now I can build the welcome party because I have this shape. I mean, I could also wait for that to get the Dark Chapel and then build this down here, but I think I'd rather have it now. So this makes this power better. So it gives me 2 resources instead of 1, which is already really good. And I probably not, and next I want to do this to get more actions actually. And again, I'm choosing the lucky coin, so this was the 3rd round. I'm using the lucky coin here to get myself more. Now I roll. put this into frame. Okay, so I get. Okay, stone is good to get because stone is something very difficult. So I get a stone and a food. I get 4 actions, and I get 1 actions more from the Dark Chapel I have. So I have actually 5 actions. So that's 6. It's 1 too much. And then I get this coin from my lucky coin. So now I can do a little bit more. So I have food now, which is good because this allows me to finish building that. Oh, and I can choose. Wait a minute. I can choose a die, a resource die actually. So I can't use the action dice to get more actions. So I can choose one of either of these two, either a food or a stone, to get 2 more off. So now it's a question if I want to get so I need a wood and a food to build that, but I don't have a wood already yet, so I can't really do that. When I go into this more or into the stone more. If I take this, I can build these, and then I think I go for the stones. So what I think I want to do is I get 1 action and a stone to build this. And then another action and 2 stone to do this. And then I have a action and a food to complete this. And then I could use an action to harvest a wood, and then with an action at the wood and the coin to build this. Or is there anything else that makes more sense? I mean, I could also go for maybe I want to go for the primeval forest first. So I use this to get a wood and an action, so I can build the primeval forest a little bit further. And then I use the 1 action to just get myself a victory point, basically. That should be it. So that's now back again in the settlement phase, and I want to build a second one of these. So I can build as many welcome parties as I can in these fields. And I think next thing I want to get is wood and food. It's okay. This is a little bit difficult now to get because I want to build the Dark Chapel at one point, but it's really hard to get now because I have to start here, and this I need a lot of food, which I could get now with the welcome parties. It's not really an issue because I want to build a better Dark Chapel to get more actions, because at some point I need also a lot of actions to harvest. So again, I choose the lucky coin just because it's the best thing here to get, because the other 2 are basically not an issue. Did I cross off that it was the first round or the 4th round? Now I have to think about. No, I don't. I don't think I did it. So we're now in the 5th round. Everything out of focus or out of shot. Again, I get 4 actions. I get 1 action from the Dark Chapel. I get the coin. I get a wood and a food, which is good because, yeah, that's what I said, because I need to get up until here. I think it's probably best if I take the food now. If I take 4 food or 3 food here, so I have 4 food. Because this allows me to fill in up until here, which is already a big step. Yeah, so this takes me 4 actions out of my 5 to do actually. Oh, which is okay. So I take 4 actions and 4 food to build all of this. I could use the last one to build the primeval forest, which is maybe what I want. Yeah, I think I rather want that. So I don't build that one, but I use this one as here. And then I have 1 action and 2 wood to build that. So I'm about to complete the Dark Chapel form here. I could also go for that and build another welcome party, but I think now I wanted to have a Dark Chapel to have more actions to harvest in my dire need. So now I have unlocked also the Primeval Forest, which is good. So if I get... No, I can't get that really easily. Oh well. If I complete this, I can build a welcome party here and the Dark Chapel up there. Okay, that's nice. So if I've completed that, I could... well, if I completed that, I could have gotten 4 resources instead of thing, because now in the settlement phase I can't build anything. But yeah. So again, I choose the lucky coin. I think it's a no-brainer to do. Oh, this time around it's only 3 actions, which is bad. So I get 2 wood and 3 actions. Actually, I get a 4th one from the Dark Chapel at least. I get this coin. And now I can choose to get more wood. So basically I can only get wood here. So 3 wood, because it's the only one that I have on the die. Which is okay. I got 1 wood also from the Primeval Forest. So I have wood all over. So yeah, that's what I want. Why I want more actions, but I can get. No, I can't, because I can't build that. Oh, that's crap. Well, I could try to harvest, but I don't have that many actions. So 1 actions and 2 woods gets me that. And another action and 2 wood gets me that. So that's at least 4 points this turn. Oh, I think I've forgotten that. So I'm in the 6th round actually. Where am I? Crap. So this is at least 2. I think the first one I didn't build. I think there was 2 rounds where I don't build anything. To the 1st and the 4th, I think I didn't build. And these 2 I built. So maybe I am not in the. I am in the 5th round. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's not fret about that. Yeah, this is really issue to keep track of. I hope I didn't cheat here. You can comment me on that. So let's recapitulate. So I'm here. Or I can use another action. Oh no, this takes 3, so I can't do that. And I can use an action and a coin to get there. And I could do an action and wood here, so I can build at least that, which is that bad. I think this is what I do. So I use 1 action and 2 wood to get here. Then I do the same thing again. Then I use an action and wood to build this. And an action, and this is a food to do this. So now, because now in the settlement phase, I can do the welcome party again. So I can build this. And if I get food, I can then build the Dark Chapel around here. So this gives me now 4 resources. This is wasted. And now it's the end of the 5th turn. Yeah, because I built 3 building, and I think in the 1st round and in the 4th round I think I didn't build. So that makes sense here. That I'm at that point here. So let's roll again. This just 2 dice. This is really good. This is really good. Sort of. So let's see. I get 1 wood just from the Primeval Forest, and I get 1 action. Then I get 3 more action from the die roll. Then I get 1 coin and a food. And the cool thing is, because the welcome party gives you from any die, so I can get 4 additional gold coin, which is the best thing I can do because these are wild. And I got another coin from here. So this is really great because this now allows me to finish that, so I can finish my Dark Chapel, because I had really some shitty rolls, only getting 3 actions. So this is really great to increase my to increase the amount of actions I get. So I use 1 action and 1 food to build here. Then I use a coin for the food and another action to get here. So now I can build a Dark Chapel in here, which is exactly what I needed, which is really great. So this gives me next turn 2 additional actions, which is really great. Then I have 5 coins left, which is a lot. Kind of. Because with these 5 coins, I can get up until up to here. Which at some point then allows me again to build another Dark Chapel if I want to. And the stones is anyway the hardest thing to get, and this costs me 2 actions actually. So this is 5 coins. I need 5 stones and 2 actions to build these. So I do this. These are just all the things. And now in the settlement phase, I build a Dark Chapel, which goes exactly into here. This then increases to 2 actions and the wood is lost. And so it's the next turn. Let's cross that off then. Again, okay, this is really nice again. So 4 actions from the thingy and the coin and the food. Then I get this coin, I get 2 actions from my Dark Chapel. And then I can choose, I get a wood from the Primeval Forest, and I choose again to get 4 coins because it's the best thing you can do, because you can do this, use this as wild cards anyway. So yeah, that's nice. So I could get myself another Welcome Party or another Dark Chapel. This is really good. I can even get myself both. So yeah, these get really expensive. I need 3 stones already to build that. So let's see. I go. So another Dark Chapel would be this phase, and if I build these 3, I can do the same shape here again, which would give me a lot of 3 actions and 5 resources. If I roll coins, is really great. So, but I need a lot of food anyway to activate that. I mean, I have to get to here anyway to build the next Dark Chapel. So I have to build in this column anyway with a lot of food. So I can use 1 action and 1 food to get that, 1 action and a coin to get that. And then, can I get this? I would need 2 coins and an action to do that. And then I can do, yeah, I can do these 2 with that, and 1 action I can use this, so this is then lost, but that's okay. So this means I use 1 action and 1 food to cross off that. Then I use a coin that I use as a food and an action to cross off that. Then I use 2 coins as wood. The wood I got from the Primeval Forest, and an action to cross off that. And then I use this coin and an action as a food, or this coin as a food plus an action, and again the same thing, this as a food and an action. And then I have an action left, which I take this free action here, and this is wasted, or basically goes back to the lucky coin. Which means now in the settlement phase, I can build another dark chapel into here. And this gets me 3 actions now. And that was my 7th round. I reroll again and again. I mean, this is just a really good roll. Always getting the coin. A coin, a food, a wood from the primeval forest, and I get 4 actions. Plus I get 3 actions from my dark chapel. I get the lucky coin, and I get 4 more coins from my welcome party. Yeah, this is really nice. This gives me a lot of actions and a lot of coins. Well, it's basically the same amount of coins as 6. Basically, it's the same thing I got last turn, with just 1 more action, which is nice. Okay. So that means, this is really nice. What do I want to do? I mean, I can also go into this track because this is, I mean, all of this 12 points. I could, if I do this, I mean, I probably have to do this just to get more from my welcome party out of it. So this I would need to use as a stone and an action to get that. And then I have action to this. And 2 food and 2 actions would give me 3 points. And then I can use... can do so many things. I could use 1 action and these to get up to here. Or because these are 3 points, it's probably better to get, or to use 3 coins to do that. Then I could use an action to harvest a wood. And with that, I would have enough to do that. And this is just wasted. Or I could put it in there. Yeah, I think I'd do that. Now I have to remember what I wanted to do. Okay, so I use this as a stone, and with the action I complete this, because it is I want, because of the welcome party. Then I use, I could also use just 1 action and okay, I anyway forget that I have unlocked that, and I have unlocked this too, which makes this a lot more harder now to compute. Okay, so wait a minute, now I have to, because now I can use 1 action to get 3 stones for free. Yeah, so I use an action to harvest that, because now I can use an action and the 3 stones for that. Because then that means I can use 1 coin or 2 coins, which I use as wood, plus the wood I got, and 1 actions to build that. And then I have so much things left. I can use 1 action and a food. Or maybe 2 food. So getting this or this is the same amount of points. Theoretically. This cost me 2 actions, this cost me only 1 action, but do I care? So if I would use 1 action and this, then I have 2 actions left, which I can't. Oh, which I can do this anyway. Okay, so I can do both. Whatever. So I use this as food and 1 actions to cross off that. And then I use this as food, and 2 actions to cross off that. So this gives me 6 points in this turn alone from that. And then in the settlement phase, I build another welcome party. So this gives me 5 resources now. Which, when I get a coin, it would be really nice. And not forget, cross off the 8 rounds. I have 2 more turns left. And again, I choose the lucky coin because everything else is just completely useless. Okay, so this time I didn't get the coin. But yeah, so I get 4 actions. And then I get 3 more actions from the welcome party. I get a wood from the primeval forest, I get a wood from the die, and I get a food from the die. And then I get this coin, plus I can choose either to get food or to get wood. I get 5 of it. So if I get 5 food, I can complete this and get 21 points. Yeah, I mean, at one point I want to get stone just to complete another dark chapel. Do I want to have another dark chapel? It's the other question. Maybe I don't. I mean, I get about 7 actions per turn, which is already really great. But maybe I want to have more resources, especially if I want to get the 23 points up here. And with the additional foods, I can do this also too. Yeah, I get the food. So I get 5 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get all these. So I spend an action and 2 food to build that. And I build and 1 action and 3 food to complete that. And that means I have 21 points for sure. And then I use I mean, I can do these 2 to get another welcome party, which may be better. I would need to have at least 1 stone next turn, and stone is really hard to get. And if I just get wood, I just complete that anyway. So I have so many actions. I can also harvest, and I think I can use 1 actions to harvest another wood, and with these 3 wood I can complete that. And then I can harvest another. I can harvest that for 2 stone, and with that I have that. So these would be 3 actions. This I think would be 2 actions, and then I can complete that. Yeah, I think this is the best thing to do, because this gives me 4 points. So I use 1 action to harvest 2 stones. So I get 2 stones here, and with the coin I use as a stone and this action, I can complete this. And then I use 1 action to harvest 1 wood from here. This gives me 1 wood, and with that I have 3 wood and an action. I can complete that, which gives me another 2 points. And then I use this to just basically complete that, to probably give me 4 victory points. So that's 9. So I'm in the last turn now. I get again lucky coin because it's the best thing. I roll. Oh wait. I can do. Since it's the last thing I do here. Oh, I can actually build a dark chapel. But do I want to have more actions? I think I'd rather have more resources. So I get up to 6 resources. Okay, so there's okay roll. Gives me a lot of food actually, which is completely useless because I don't need actually that many food. Okay, maybe I should have built the dark chapel. Well, you never know. So I get I at least get 3 actions. I get a wood from the primeval forest. I get this coin. These 3 actions I already got. I get 2 food. So now I have to decide. I probably can't get 4 more points from that. And I don't think I can get 5 wood. This takes me just too many freaking actions to get. I mean, this is at least 31 points already, which is really great. But I could complete this, so I get 12 points from here. If I take the 6 food. I can either take the food or the stone, the food or the wood. I can't take stone, which is the unfortunate thing here. Oh, I get another wood from the primeval forest actually. No, this is I already have. This is this wood. So I can only get food anyway. So yeah, what am I thinking about? So I can get food anyway because it's the only thing I get from the die. This cost me 3 actions to actually get 9 points and 6 food, which is exactly the food that I got already, that I got from the welcome party. So by using these 6 food and 3 actions, I get 9 points just from the arch enemy. Now the question is if I can get more points here. I think it takes me 2 actions to get just these 2 points. Yeah, this food is now completely useless and I can't change it, and I would need to. So if I use 2 actions, I can do these 2, and then I can't do nothing anyway. So this is the only thing I can do actually, because I can't harvest in a way that I can get more stone, and I can't harvest, and the food is completely useless. So yeah, I have to do this. I think I have. Let's see. I mean, this gives me 9 points, which I think is probably the most points I can get. This gives me 4 points. It's just 2 points if I go 1 further than there. Yeah, so I use this 6 food to and the 3 actions to complete the arch enemy thingy here. Then I use this as normal, and action on the wood to complete that, and then I use this as a stone and to complete that, and I can't build. Well, I could build a primeval forest, but this doesn't give me any point. It's just nice to know. So I would have 2 wood next turn, but there's no next turn because it's the last turn, and this action doesn't do me anything. Well, I can use it there, but again, it's no use because it doesn't give me any points. So now let's do together. So that's 15. Let's write it. Everybody can read it. 6. That's 8 points here. I get 12 points from there, which I think is the maximum points you can get anyway. So that's 20 points. That's 31 points. So with the 20, that's 51. 71, 72 points. Wow, which is actually better than the first game I did that got corrupted. Yeah, I think in this village, let's say this was the adventure sheet number 1. In this game, these two are just way overpowered. Dark Chapel and Welcome Party. As soon as you get this going, yes, you get one less die, but who cares if you get so many resources? And this just fixes the last die. Yes, the problem is if you have one less die, you don't have that much of a choice what to get, especially if you roll twice the same thing. But since the later ones take you so many resources, if you get just 6 stones, or 6 wood, you can just build one of these for one action. And with the action, you can actually harvest here, which is also something you probably want to do, because this node just basically gives you for 2 actions, you can cross on one of these, which is really good, which gives you a lot of points, because here the progression is really high. You get 3 points or 4 points. It's really, 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 really well, and this is what gives you a lot of points. So yeah, 72 points. If you played along, you can see if you can do better than me. If you choose to not build a Dark Chapel, or later on, I built it very early on, or I was able to build it very early on, or to activate it early on. Let's say that, because it uses 2 wood. I think I had it in turn 2. It gets, yeah, you don't have this one die, so you have to come up. If you could do better if you have it later, and maybe you have more choices with the Welcome Party, because of course then you have a more chance to get gold coins, which is what you want with the Welcome Party, because then you have wild resources at the wazoo. I mean, if I get 6 coins, it's just bonkers. I can do anything. But yeah, so that's maybe the trade-off when you do not build the Dark Chapel and just go completely for the Welcome Party, because this shape is almost the same. So I could have built I could have built 2 more Welcome Parties, which would give me to 8, which I get 8 coins, which is completely bonkers. But maybe then you're missing the actions, and at the beginning you probably want more actions, and later on actions aren't that important anymore because you have many more resources. You need more resources to build actually something. So yeah, let's put a comment below, and also put a comment below if you want to see more of this. I will probably pre-record some of them, and yeah, if you want to see more of these to play along, I mean there's 48 of them. Yeah, let me know. Until then, see you.